that good?
Yep.
Okay. We were switching chairs because, we'll show them.
Because I can't use my armrest. She has an armrest. I don't. And I got this brace on to replace my cast.
Mm-hmm. Ew, you still smell like hospital.
Yeah. Like chemicals.
Let me fix that.
I think
Okay.
it smells like clean because I'm used to chemicals, but it's not like clean.
It's not clean. It's disgusting.
I know that, but I'm not associated as such. What do you bring on me?
Something that smells not like hospital.
What'd you choose?
Grounding.
That's not so bad.
Yes, and then my special sea glass roller.
Sea glass roller.
Yeah, like I made it's a high frequency. It's got rose, Idaho, blue spruce, highest potential, something else, and Atlantic sea glass. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, so we thought we'd hop on. I was just chit-chatting so that you guys can join us. I don't want you to miss a moment of this brilliant child of mine. I mean, I know that you're my son, and so of course I'm like, he's amazing. But sometimes, hey Stephanie, hey Maribel, hey Mindy, sometimes it's astounding the wisdom that God has given this child. Like, astounding. Anyhow, as I wrote yesterday in my post, I asked the question back a while ago. What's the big deal about CBD? Like, I hear people talking about it. All the Young Living people are like falling all over themselves with CBD. And I just was asking the question. I honestly thought it was a bit bandwagony, like paleo, keto, whatever.
Just a new health fad that comes.
Just a new health fad. And so I'm like, enlighten me. And rather than being enlightened, I got my ass jumped all over. And that's not nice. Not from it. No, excuse me. Not from everyone. A lot of you guys were super, super kind and just telling me your the benefits that you had from it. While nice, that wasn't helpful. I needed to know why. When he had cancer, my friends would say, well, just pour frankincense on the scar. I'm like, you people are smoking crack. Like, I'm not pouring frankincense on. Like, why? Nobody told me why I should have poured frankincense. Do you mind? Can I show?
Yeah, well, you can't see it because of the comments.
Well, we can't see it. They can see, silly. I wish I had have poured frankincense. It's a disaster. It's a mangled scar, but no one told me it'll reduce the scarring.
But now she gets a second chance once we start taking this off.
I can't wait. Okay, we're not talking about that.
I know, but I was just saying.
We should do a before and after, though, of like how nasty that scar looks versus what it's going to look like. Okay.
Yeah.
We're digressing. So I came home. Where is that book?
The book.
Oh, my head.
Oh, the CBD.
Okay,
right
really quick. Sorry, guys. So I came home with this from convention. I'm like, hey, babe, can you read this for me? And we're going to do a live. He's like, sure, whatever. Reads it, photographic memory. I'm not joking. Ask him anything about this book. He will remember.
Actually, photographic memory's not a thing. But it just makes...
Go ahead. It's okay. How do you memorize this whole thing?
I have a good memory.
So there's no such thing as a photographic memory?
Nope.
Okay.
It's just a thing people say.
Anyhow.
But I digress.
So we finished it. He knows all about CBD, and we got to hear all day yesterday about the difference between CBD and pot, and how actually, I shouldn't say marijuana, whatever. And it sounded like you kind of switched your stance on how you feel about marijuana.
No, for a while I held the view that should be treated as more of a, or at least hemp, maybe even marijuana itself should be treated as a prescription drug and regulated as such by the FDA.
P.S. This is probably going to be a 30-minute live, so buckle up, Buttercup. If you don't want to listen that long, then just save it, watch later. But he has a lot of information, and it is a lengthy topic. This is not going to be like your Instagram 2-minute deal. Oh, Stephanie, the book is called The Power of CBD and Essential Oils by, Dr. Ollie Wanker. It is, he's hilarious in person. And I feel like the book, I am not quite as far along as Zion, but I feel like it goes quickly. I like to jump around from topic to topic within the book, and you just power through.
Yep.
So bravo to you. Okay, so we have a little outline, which of course, because that's what Zion does. Did we do the intro? Can we skip to the next point now?
Yeah. So the main thing to go over first is inevitably, whenever anyone mentions CBD, the topic of marijuana will immediately come up.
My goodness, there's a pot plant right on the front of it.
Right. I mean, that's like their international symbol for pot legalization. It's whenever people see, some people want to hear CBD, like, I don't want pot. I'm not gonna take a bunch of drugs, but so there's a difference between CBD and then pot, because CBD is cannabidiol. It's it has the healing properties which I'll get into later, and the chemical that we typically associate with marijuana is THC, which is its full chemical name is, if I remember right, delta 9 tetrahydrocannabinol. So that's the part.
I think that's a photographic memory.
That's the part of marijuana that can make you high. CBD does not do that, and so related to this, the difference between hemp and marijuana. So technically, it's the same plant, or the same species, Cannabis sativa. Subspecies sativa is hemp, so it has less than 0.3% THC, and therefore it's not addictive. And it's
in the hemp.
Right.
Okay.
So hemp is typically the main source of CBD. If you want THC heavy marijuana, you'd have to get the subspecies indica variety. That's what people are smoking on our wall outside every now and then.
We should show next time someone goes and lights up out there, be like, see, this is why I was kind of anti-CBD.
Right. So there is a difference between hemp and marijuana because there are different subspecies. It's the difference between a Chihuahua and a Great Dane.
What?
Because it's different, like, it's subspecies are like different breed of or genome of dog.
Oh, I was thinking like, okay, I have a Great Dane and a Chihuahua. I thought you were talking about
no,
like
I was just mentioning different breeds. Like that's
so not for the size difference. I see what you mean now.
It's essentially that's all the difference between hemp and marijuana.
Okay.
But it makes a big difference because hemp has less THC, so and therefore is the addictive part.
Okay, so how does it work?
Well, we're on the why is it banned?
You wanted to talk about that.
So
hold on, he has to get a little political. You guys have to indulge that.
So the problem with buying CBD is that it's the legal status of cannabis is, which is the name collectively for both hemp and marijuana, is somewhat dubious. It's actually the funny thing is that it actually was illegal for farmers to not grow cannabis or specifically hemp back in the colonial era and even in 1500s England because it had so many different industrial applications and it still does. We use it now to make fiberglass, but it can also be used for paper, for sails, for canvas. That's actually where we get the word canvas from, cannabis.
So we get canvas from the word cannabis.
Yep.
Did y'all know that?
The ancient Greeks used cannabis in steam baths. There's a long list of things you can use hemp for. But around the early 1900s, people like the prohibitionists became concerned about the addictive nature of drugs, thinking that it was ruining society, and that getting rid of drugs would make a more noble society. Because that's what the progressive era was about, trying to build a better society. We have prohibition and everything from prohibition to the public school system.
Was it all during the progressive era?
Yeah.
Which was from like what time to what time roughly?
Turn of the century.
Okay. Yeah.
Roughly.
That makes sense. Okay.
So marijuana, along with heroin, cocaine, morphine, etc., were all labeled by the government as addictive, but they were not banned or taxed. Enter the racists in the 1920s who were mad about unchecked immigration from Mexico from Mexicans who were fleeing the revolution there. Mm-hmm. And the name marijuana actually was just invented by those politicians just to blame it on them. And the final one thing that got banned was...
Hold on. If you say the word marijuana, are you aligning yourself with a racist?
It's so common now that not really, but... I would say not anymore.
Okay.
Because now it's just the common term.
I'm just saying, we're in such a society where words matter. So
right.
Just saying. Okay, carry on.
Anyway, the other main factor that got cannabis banned was the logging industry. Because they wanted to make paper out of wood. The problem is hemp is so much better because it's for every all the paper they can make out of an acre of hemp, it would take you about 2 or 3 acres of trees to do that. Plus, hemp paper is much more durable, can be recycled many more times, and the logging industry was not too fond of that, so they lobbied the government to get rid of cannabis. Now, what the government did was they didn't differentiate between hemp. I'm almost done. They didn't differentiate between hemp and marijuana, so they're both banned. Hemp's now legal. Marijuana, it depends on where you live. So as far as CBD goes, it's legal in every state, but there's a list in this book. I can
find it.
You know, Idaho, I think one of the Dakotas, I think it was South Dakota, and maybe Nebraska were the 3 states. That's what I think they were.
Is it towards the end?
It's right in the, I think it's either one of these 2 chapters.
Okay, I'll look there.
So yeah, it depends on what brand you're using, because some brands have more than 0.3% THC when you're buying, when you're buying in CBD. So when in doubt about whether you can take it on an airplane or and just err on the side of caution and leave it. So yeah.
It's okay.
The legal status is still shaky.
And even honestly, here in Massachusetts, I saw conflicting reviews. I just shoved it in the bottom of my backpack. But even though pot is legal here, CBD is legal here, there was just something that was kind of made me question,
I think
just gotta be careful.
I think you do have to. I know you have to buy to sell it or grow to grow marijuana. You have to be licensed here.
Oh, maybe that was what I read then.
Yeah.
Okay, but to take the actual oil, I mean, obviously
Right.
I didn't get stopped or anything.
You have to be licensed to do anything.
And no joke, right? In Massachusetts?
No, everywhere.
Oh, I was thinking here. I'm like, dang, they sure like their licenses.
They
Okay,
like
let's
licenses.
move along.
So, how CBD works? So it's we can go on and on about the benefits, but basically what you need to know is that that restores homeostasis to the body. I mean, it helps with pain and because pain is your body's indication that something is wrong. Nausea and vomiting, because that's something's off with your stomach. Anxiety, because your brain thinks there's something wrong, etc.
Did you already talk about the what was it? How do you say the cannabinoid system? The endocannabinoid system.
I was about to mention that.
Sorry.
So your body has its own. So the system of your body that's in charge of regulating this is called the endocannabinoid system. It was called that because cannabis was the first plant discovered with that, but then they found that there's other plants from which you can get it. So those receptors, when your brain can actually produce its own, your body does produce its own cannabinoid-like chemicals, but by adding more CBD, you're just adding more cannabinoids to get the job done faster.
Okay.
Kind of like oils stimulate your body to do what it's supposed to do. CBD does something a little similar.
So that was my biggest question because, and we'll talk about that in a second, how I was wrongly informed. There was this idea perpetuated among the essential oil people that there's this one oil that was similar to CBD, or it had right, because it had the beta caryophyllene. And so I'm like, well, I don't understand why would I be so thinking like CBD is end all cure all? I didn't even know that it wasn't an essential oil, number one. Number two, I'm like, it sounds like it does the same thing as an essential oil. So why am I worried about doing something that is really creating a huge bunch of legal nonsense?
Right.
So what is the difference between, I know what it is, but I just want other people to know who are like me, like maybe ignorant of it, just, I don't know. What's the difference between CBD and an essential oil, besides the fact one's a fatty oil, one's a volatile oil?
I think that is actually one of the main differences is extraction. It's an essential oil in the same sense that citrus is. It's processed differently, but it's still like, you can consider it the quote-unquote essence of the plant.
Interesting. So is it, okay.
And it also doesn't work the same way as an oil. Like, your oils tell your body to do what it already knows how to do, and then CBD tells your body to do it faster.
Okay, wait, I'm sorry. Sometimes I need to have you repeat.
Right.
So, an essential oil tells your body to do what it already knows how to do.
Right, and then CBD comes in and makes your body do it. It does it itself.
CBD does it.
Sort of, because it's a chemical that actually triggers your brain receptors.
Okay.
It's something in your brain.
Does that make sense, you guys? Ask questions if you have questions. Okay.
So there's next point was the importance of seed to seal. So what's the company you're using? Nature's Ultra? What?
Yes, the company that we're using.
What?
Yeah, Nature's Ultra. Yeah. I thought you said you're using.
No.
Like, okay, sorry.
Anyway,
This is funny.
So Nature's Ultra has a commitment to seed to seal, just like Young Living does, meaning that they're in charge of everything from growing it to packaging it and sending it off. And that's so important for oils because it ensures that they're full quality. Same thing with CBD. So some of the problems of using CBD is that the cannabis plant tends to absorb metal from the soil. Also, if you
which is good for the
which
soil.
is good for the soil,
Yeah.
but it's bad for the plant. But it can be dangerous for the plant.
Yes.
And especially when you consider the fact that some pot growers will take advantage of that and fill the soil with lead, because then they can they don't actually need the lead in marijuana for anything other than the fact that it'll weigh more, and therefore they can sell for a higher price, because marijuana, like most plants and produce, is sold by the pound. So they add lead to the soil, soaks it up, they can sell less for more money. But a lot of people die from lead poisoning after smoking pot because of this. So and there's the same concerns with CBD.
So if somebody is using that same hemp plant, they're removing the THC, the part that makes you high,
right,
and they're leaving the rest, and it's lead filled. If that is not a seed to seal company type product, that CBD could have lead in it.
Yeah. Oh, and one of the differences between CBD and THC is that CBD does have the healing properties. THC has been shown in some studies to do a lot of the health benefits that CBD can, and arguably faster or better. But the trade off is that it also is psychoactive. So it gets you high and causes hallucinations and stuff like that.
So THC to the pot, whatever, can do the same thing. You just
right. It's like they can do the same thing, but THC is psychoactive.
I don't think we said we were going to talk about this, but just in case, I really want to talk about it, because yesterday Zion and I were bantering, like, hey, what should we talk about? Sorry, I got to say, hi, Erin. I'm so glad you're on. I just had to say hi to her. He was saying that, and I hadn't gotten here in this book, that actually CBD can help you get off addictions, can get you off those opioids, which I was
right.
like, wait, what?
Right, CBD, and also what. We can skip this now because while we're on it, like, you cannot overdose from CBD or really even from THC.
No, wait, go back to the opioid thing.
Okay, so people who are addicted to opioids, which was declared a national emergency by the president in 2017, like the whole crisis, because they're a common painkiller. Mm-hmm. The ones who are getting CBD had recovered from their addiction better. Same with alcoholics. So for those who are wondering if that'll worsen your addiction, no, it'll actually make it better.
Yeah, because some people were asking me, like, okay, so what if you're a recovering addict? My husband has a history of drug abuse and alcohol abuse. So, like, when he broke his arm and they wanted to give morphine, he's like, hell to the no, I don't think so, because why? Why am I even going to dabble with that? So if that's you, or you know somebody who has had addictions, who struggles with that, this will actually help them stay off of that and get better. Oh, that was like, to me, whenever I asked a question 7 or 8 months ago, I'm like, that information would have been life-changing, but there we are. Okay, carry on.
So, yeah, that's, so yes, it does get you off of the addiction. Should I go into this section?
Full spectrum versus smart. Yeah, absolutely.
So there's also the question of what's the difference between full spectrum and smart spectrum CBD. The difference is that smart spectrum is just CBD. It's about 99% pure. So if you want just that, then there it is. Full spectrum is CBD plus all the other cannabinoids. So CBD, THC, and everything else in cannabis. As far as which one to use, it depends on what you want. I mean, if you're okay with having a little THC, you don't think a drug test anytime soon. I mean, it's nowhere near enough. It's not enough THC to get you high, so it's fine. But you can still get flagged on a drug test for it. So
if it's a full spectrum,
right? If it's full spectrum. So
correct.
if you're not concerned about drug tests, then it's full spectrum is fine. But if you are, then you can stick with the smart spectrum stuff, because that's just straight CBD.
Right. Yeah. So, because people have asked, well, in fact, when I was at convention, someone messaged me. I'm like, oh, that's a good question. And I asked, and he said, the owner, Richard Ricketts, he was like, yeah, no, you're not going to get drug tested, or you can get drug tested, you're not going to get flagged, because there is no THC. It's smart spectrum, and then the full spectrum, Which I laughed. They're like, yeah, if you're okay with a little bit of THC. And here's me. Would you be okay with that?
No.
Okay, just checking.
But if you are,
yes,
then...
he was all weird because we got it under his account, and he's like, "Great, I'm gonna run for president, and I'm buying CBD, and yada yada." I'm like, "Read the book. You'll be okay."
Yeah, read the book.
Okay, moving on. So wait, full spectrum, smart spectrum. Yeah, moving. Yeah.
The next question is how much you... Oh.
Grandma's asking a
It's
question.
true that THC will block CBD receptor sites. Actually, I think it's the reverse. Because THC and CBD together, the CBD will actually dole out the psychoactive effects of THC.
Which is why the CBD works to help people get off addictions. Yes?
Right, it blocks this receptor.
It blocks that.
It can plug up the receptors. Like, it doesn't actually... If you think of it like a system of your brain, a system of like keyholes and then different chemicals like cannabinoids, or for other hormones, your brain, serotonin and oxytocin, etc.
Right.
Right, oxycodone.
No,
not oxycodone.
I'm like, that's a drug, right?
There's some other one I was thinking of. That says oxy, I think.
A hormone?
It's not like chemical in your brain. Whatever it is, it's say.
We'll think of it when we hit stop.
Whatever it is, if you think of like that, CBD is, imagine like a key, as a key that can fit the THC lock, but it won't open, so it'll block a THC that can try to open it.
Did you?
Yes, I heard your dog.
Can I see my dog's butt in there?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on.
Great. Anyway, so as far as how much CBD to take, it depends.
Oh
It depends
my
on
gosh. Oxytocin, is that?
Oxytocin, I think, is the...
I think Maribel's right, yeah.
Thank
you,
you.
Maribel. Thank you, Leslie. We're just like totally having a brain freeze, right?
Yeah.
We can't memorize everything, right?
Right.
Right.
So yeah, it depends as far as how much CBD to take. You really gotta do it by trial and error, because it's there's, I mean, depending on what you're taking it for, and then also they give you different doses of medicine depending on factors like age and weight, etc. So just play around with it.
Right, because you were saying if you're older and heavier, you're going to take more or need more.
Well, I don't know if you're going to need a different amount. I'm not sure how much you take.
Amount.
I mean, not sure how much it's more you need, like younger or older, but I know like different size or weight you need different. You probably need more.
Yeah, just Monica was asking, have we tried it yet? I've tried it. Eden's been taking it since convention because she does struggle with falling asleep and staying asleep. So I've been playing around with that with her. I've tried it because I'm just like, I'll try anything once, right? And
I tried it.
You tried it. So today, Zion's a little skeevy, right? You know, about all the hospitals. In fact, the fact that he stinks like a hospital. I can't believe you haven't taken a shower yet. But he had to go get the cast off and then pull the stitches out. How many stitches were there? Like
31.
Ooh,
And then sutures. They had to cut those out.
gross. And it looked nasty. And so he was all worried about it and wanted to take a morphine bomb, which I'm realizing is being recorded. I won't tell you guys what's in the morphine bomb, but you know what I'm saying, right? And I said, you know what? Let's try the CBD calm roller. Let's do that first. And you did. So you took the roller with you, and
It worked.
it worked. He felt calm, peaceful.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went a week ago before we left, you were huffing stress away, and that seemed to help. But comparatively, what did you think?
I think this one works a little bit better.
Okay, cool. So Mark's tried the muscle rub, and immediately. So that was instant. The others. Oh, so somebody was asking. Now that things gone, are the results immediate? So talk to them about how, like, when can they expect to see results from the actual CBD oil versus like the rub or the calming roller?
It'll probably take a while because it might have to build up in your system somewhat. But the reason why people don't think it starts working is because it won't give you high the same way that straight marijuana or THC will. So it's working. It just doesn't. It's just not as. You just don't feel it working immediately.
Right, and I had to sit down with the owner, and everybody was like, all hounding him, like shoving their camera in his face. So we did that, and then I went and I found his wife, and she's just wandering around, just a delightful gal. And I was like, look, was super skeptical. She's like, me too. But she confirmed the same thing. She said, look, you're not going to just drop a CBD like, oh, ta-da, birds and butterflies and rainbows everywhere.
Right.
She's like, it has to build up in your system. You have to keep using it. Both of them said 30 days, 60 really to get a good, like, this is working for me or this is not. So unlike like our oils, right? Like if I take rose here and I take a drop of rose, oh Lord, I'm going to put it on you.
Why?
Because you smell like the hospital. Anyhow, but if I take rose, immediately my brain, like I feel it. It goes to my olfactory system and my brain is starting to do these really cool, amazing things. And the CBD, I put it in my mouth. I didn't feel like it was doing something super cool and amazing. It tastes delicious. So I did put some in my coffee. Yes, I put that cinnamon in my afternoon coffee.
May I should give it a try.
It's yummy.
All right. Oh, wait, should we talk about like whether you can use it for your pets? Start using it on our dog.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Hold on.
She have a few more things to go over.
Yeah, I know. I'm thinking, so why CBD? Yeah, let's do that. And then let's talk about like who to use it on and all that. We can talk about the pets. We can talk about Penny and how we've been giving it to her and all that.
Yeah. So yes, Grandma.
Yeah, Grandma. We'll get to that.
Yeah. So as far as oils on pets, I mean, it depends on, again, just like for people, it depends on the pet. And we've been trying to give some to our hyperactive territorial little spaz of a pointer.
That is so rude.
She is.
She just was in a shelter and was, I think, abused as a puppy. And
Right.
so now she just wants everything for herself. You're a fat little spoiled dog. We can't all be rich and spoiled like him.
So we've been giving her what we called her doggy dopes, these little calming treats, but
Nice.
we started giving her CBD instead. It's fitting because we just emptied the jar. It may take a while though because she's trying to get her a break. Since we give it to her after every meal, we feed the dogs once in the morning, once at night. We're trying to get her to break the habit of going to our butler's, going to my mom's old office, the butler's pantry, where we used to keep it, and along with our other supplements. Because she goes there and she'll sit down and beg.
Yeah.
After every meal.
I have been putting the calm roller on to have her calm. Truth be told, she is territorial. She does attack the other dogs at times if they get in her space. So we've created an environment that is just Penny's, and we're helping her to overcome that. So we'll the verdict is not in with that. We've been giving her like 2 droppers a day, morning and night, just as her routine. We'll give a little peanut butter. I was just kind of holding her mouth open and just putting it in. She was cute. She's like...
She'll eat it straight.
She'll eat anything. That dog is a goat.
She's a goat.
So yeah, but I haven't, with our other dogs, I mean, I can't imagine ever giving, none of them ever get freaked out. Mandy, though, I will say over 4th of July, because here in Massachusetts, Massachusetts invented America. So for 2 weeks actually 3 weeks, because when we went to convention, there was still fireworks. There's fireworks going constantly, and it freaks our littlest dog out. So I was using essential oils on her. I would probably go back next time and I would use CBD on her, but all the others, especially your dog. Yeah,
my dog probably would fall asleep if we put some on him.
Okay, so that's with pets, oils, and why, we don't even have the CBD bottle here with this to show people.
Would you like to go get it?
That was poor planning. I can go get it, yeah, I'll be right back. You'll tell them about essential oils and CBD together.
All right, so there are a lot of oils that offer similar benefits to CBD, like as far as pain goes, there's lavender and frankincense. As far as sleep goes, there's stress away, cedarwood, and the list goes on. And the reason why there's so much hype about using oils and CBD together is that it's essentially many hands make light work. It's called the entourage effect. Simply put, the more there is, the more chemicals there are to do the job. So both CBD and oils can give each other a boost.
Right. Whatever you said.
Yeah.
So this is what we've been talking about. This is Nature's Ultra. If you do not use Nature's Ultra, Young Living, or any of that, that's this. This is a cinnamon oil. This was really good.
I'll try it. Then I usually make coffee. Or I know you will.
Yeah. It's Dad.
Yeah.
Of course he will.
So just have one more thing to go over.
Okay.
So the other big question is, can you overdose? No, you cannot overdose on CBD. You can't even overdose on THC. Here's why. We hear all the time, people dying from taking too much alcohol or opioids. That's because there's so many receptors in your brain that can be triggered by alcohol and opioids. However, there's comparatively few receptors that respond to cannabis in your brain. So only deaths actually ever related to to marijuana would be like if you're driving a car afterwards, because THC will slow your reaction time and cause hallucinations. Therefore, you're not really in great driving shape. There's also the whole lead poisoning thing, and the fact that synthetic cannabinoids can be highly dangerous.
Okay, so my takeaway just from that is, number one, don't get any crappy CBD. Just like don't get crappy essential oils. I mean,
Right.
come on. It's 2019.
Right.
Friends don't let friends have crap oil. So same thing with CBD. And really what's interesting about that is that unlike getting a crappy essential oil, if you get a crappy CBD oil, it could really hurt you.
Right. Crappy essential oil just won't work. Crappy CBD could be anything from like just like done isn't very good or will kill you.
Or will kill you. Yeah. So the moral of the story is, look, if you want a CBD, I'm going to go with Nature's Ultra. You guys, I sat with the owner. He's awesome. And really his wife, I love that she was so honest. And yeah, right, Aaron? Just seed to seal. Okay.
Bear in mind though that that just like people can say whatever they want about oils, since CBD is still like its legal status is still dubious, people can, and it's not officially I think it just became officially FDA regulated, but there's still some things to work out.
Sure.
People can say whatever they want on their CBD bottles. They can say it's pure, they can say it's great. And
Yes,
totally be lying.
yes. Oh, thanks so much for saying that, honey, too, because when I was asking the guy, there was somebody else asking the question, well, you know, her friend took 3,000 mgs, whatever, of the CBD, and he's like, yeah, that's just clever marketing. That's just, how did he say it? It was the Amazon marketing. You were not there.
Right.
Of course you didn't see it. He said anybody can slap a label on it and say whatever they want. I mean, this is, if you've ever made labels, you know, on Canva or anything, you can make a label. So
right, it's not hard.
It's not hard, and you can say whatever you want. And so just, you know, be wise and be aware of that. Okay, so I know you're going to do a conclusion, but I don't even know what time it is. Maybe we could do a few questions. People were asking questions. Let me see. Hold on.
So the time is...
So, honey, Dad said,
4:30.
who should use CBD? So this is done. If you want to be done, then, you know, just hit stop, whatever. But I'm going to have him take some questions. So there you go.
Yeah.
So who should use CBD, as in best applications are?
So the best so CBD's overall function is to keep your body balanced. It regulates homeostasis. It keeps your body in good condition. So if you have so the most common uses are like people who struggle with pain or anxiety, but another example would be things like nausea and vomiting or insomnia.
Okay.
So those are like those are the primary uses for CBD.
Okay. You know what, you guys, just go ahead and ask your questions again, because somebody said, are there different benefits from CBD oil and CBD and Ula tea? Oh, I don't know anything about the Ula tea. Sorry.
I do know the book does mention some foods that have have like some chemicals in common with CBD, and I believe tea was one of them. But as far as
maybe that's why because I know the Ula guys, they've made their tea, and I have the tea, I just don't have the CBD tea. Is there CBD tea, or is it the pearls that you add to the tea? So maybe that's that. Okay, I'll just go like that. Yeah.
Any more questions?
We'll just wait a sec. I had a question, and now what is this, the entourage effect?
Yeah,
you
like
said that.
That was
when I was not here. Okay, so they have tea in there, or excuse me, CBD in their tea and separate. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, you took in your coffee, so can't imagine it'd be too different.
Yeah, but coffee's different than coffee.
Than tea.
Yeah, I mean, you've got the leaves, it's more the plant, then this is like a bean, as you would say, the fruit of it.
Right.
Because did you guys know that a cucumber is not a vegetable, but a fruit?
Yeah, a lot of things you consider vegetables are fruits because they have seeds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tomatoes fruit.
Is it water soluble?
Water soluble? Yes, I think it is. Wait.
Meaning that it mixes with the...
Yeah, I think CBD is both fat and it's one of the few chemicals that's both fat and water soluble.
Okay, Monica asked, how long have they been in business? 2.5 years. That I can answer. I'm like, I got one. I know one question. Okay, what if you're exposed to THC daily? How would you respond to taking CBD? Like, would you need more? Ooh, that's a good question.
So you asked me about like tolerance. Well, it's a different chemical. So as far as like you wouldn't build up a tolerance, so to speak, to CBD by taking THC. There are two different chemicals. but it could CBD could dull the THC's effect on your body, and
that's what I'm wondering.
it.
Is she asking that because you're constantly being exposed to the THC, then to counteract those effects, you're going to need more CBD,
right?
Correct?
Yeah, because you'd be using it as a stopgap.
Cool.
Yeah, but you wouldn't like build up a tolerance. But if I think that's what you're asking. Like, as correct me if I'm wrong, but is that what you're asking when you say like, would you need more to?
Yeah, I think maybe.
Yeah.
But okay, just looking at Eden's notes that she took in the class. Yeah, that she did such good notes here.
Good.
Okay, I think that is probably it. Let me see. Anything else you want to put while we're waiting for people to ask another question?
Nope.
You have been a walking encyclopedia on all things pot, marijuana, and /marijuana.
Well, apparently there's 1,200 slang words for it. They didn't list them all in the book, but they said there's over 1,200.
For marijuana?
Yeah, for cannabis.
Cannabis.
Or yeah, technically marijuana.
I'm like, I can only think of 3, maybe 4.
Read the book. There's a lot.
I am. I'm trying to,
Read
but
the chapter on it.
okay, right? Okay, I think is that it, babe? I mean, pretty much like if you're like me and you're just going, what? The actual, who cares? Why do I want this? That's what I'm hoping that you got from this. And it really more than talking to his wife, because even after talking to her, I thought, because I said, I don't have any chronic pain, I don't have any illnesses, yada, yada, yada. And what I took away from her is that I'll use it for my littlest boy, my dog, and my daughter, and my husband's arm until it's healed. But really, after listening to Zion and reading snippets of the book, I'm like, I think everybody probably needs CBD. Okay, Monica was asking, how long will one bottle last? My guess is, Monica, no more than a month. Don't you think?
Right, but it still depends on how much you're using. So,
well, this is a 500 milligram. MG, I'm assuming that's milligram. Look at
yeah, MG is milligram.
Thank you. Because it doesn't make sense because this is ML.
Yeah.
That does not translate in my mind.
Whoever said metric units are simpler than imperial units, like feet and gallons, clearly not use Nature's Ultra.
Okay, so if you see, right, I know. This is like...
metric units are simpler.
Metric and all. So if you can see that, why did I fill it up? That was silly. Okay, so if you can see, right, that is a whole full dropper is the 500. If you use a half, now you're getting 250. Does that make sense?
Oh, so that milligram is how much is in the dropper, not how much is in the whole bottle?
Yes.
Again, using imperial units. That's what makes us great.
Okay, we're going to have to get back to you guys on the dosing and the figuring it out. Yeah, Maddie, it's funny.
Yes, but different conversation.
Yeah, Aaron, so for those of you guys who are like Aaron and myself that like the bullet points, the greatest thing about this book, I'm like, Dr. Ollie, you saw me, didn't you? In the end of most every chapter, he has a takeaway message. And so it's bullet pointed.
There's something about I mentioned that you didn't know specifically which state. I got them all right. It was Nebraska, South Dakota, and Idaho are the states where CBD is illegal. So if you live there, then too bad, move somewhere else.
Nice.
Or write your state representative or governor. Either way.
Here's me. We like road trips. We can totally help you guys out. I don't want to move. I just moved.
I was talking to most people like, want to move? Pot legal here.
Yeah, so we have plenty of room
all
here.
kinds legal here.
Okay, let me just see. For OCD, ADD, CBD oil, calm, or use both. So Dee Dee's asking if you have OCD. I'm like, I don't know. How would you use it?
I don't know if OCD would be something you use CBD for, but
that's just something that makes you happy, or
I guess I don't think OCD is like actual like. Is it a treatable disorder? I don't know.
Okay,
I know ADD is.
I think if you're talking about OCD and it's crippling, like, If
it's crippling, then. Yeah, you can use CBD to calm down.
What about the ADD? That's a really good question. So CBD oil, the calm roller, or both?
The oil, would you use the oil or the roller?
Yeah.
Well, it depends on how fast you want to absorb it. Because just like oils, there's a myriad of ways you can take oils. Same thing with CBD.
So it goes back to the experimenting. You be your own experiment.
Right. I mean, there's different ways to do it. Like actually, taking CBD on your tongue is one of the or in your mouth is one of the slowest ways, relatively speaking, to get in your body. Smoking is the fastest way, but if you don't want to risk lung cancer, then just then I would say topically. But again,
mostly I like how this says for external use only. Apply 1 full dropper to the desired area. Well, my desired area is under my tongue and in my coffee, so there's that.
It'll just take you a while, it'll take you a few hours to get it into your system.
Do you have that roller on you, by the way, or did you put it back
upstairs?
That's helpful.
Oh well.
So let's see. We do not have. Oh, Marcus, Dad's saying.
Yeah, and then
asking
then Nicole said CBD is not legal in Idaho. Yeah, apparently, the laws are changing all the time. So don't take my word for it. Best chance, just Google it.
Oh, Rachel says sublingual is considered topical.
Because you don't know, sublingual is
for getting me on that.
Sublingual is under the tongue, for those who don't know.
Yeah, and apparently it's considered topical. Interesting.
That's weird.
Well, probably because it does not go in.
Right, but
supposedly.
if you drink it like the way, if you take it like the way you're doing it, like or like
in my
the way,
coffee, yeah.
or like the way you're giving to Penny, then yeah, it's gonna take a few hours.
Okay. Oh, really quick, and then I promise I'll let you go on the dog thing. In case you're wondering, the pet CBD oil from Nature's Ultra is the base of this. It has 0 essential oils to it. So for those of you guys who are a little skeeved out by like giving your pets oils, I totally understand if you, okay, yes, that makes sense, Rachel. I understand if you've never used it, you certainly don't want to just douse them with a bunch of oils. So the pet CBD oil has no essential oils to it, and it's a great base. So, and also you can take that for yourself. If you're maybe wanting a smaller dosage of it and you want just plain, you're going to mix your own oils. Again, when I was speaking with the people there, if your dog or cat didn't inhale, that's funny.
Nice.
Is they're okay with essential oil. So like we give our dogs peppermint when it's really hot. And so we know that they could take the cool mint. The citrus, yeah, I mean, I don't know. We've never given the dogs citrus, but I wouldn't, it's such a yummy flavor. I wouldn't waste it on the dogs.
Right.
No offense.
I think they'll eat it. They'll eat their own throw. I don't think they eat good taste.
And on that note, we should be done. So feel free to keep asking questions. Zion, I tagged him so that he could go in and answer your questions. But honestly, you guys, if you utilize Young Living Essential Oils, this book is really, here, look, I'll do like that again. That book is so helpful. Maybe not all of us can read it in
a day.
How many hours did it take you? It doesn't matter.
5 or 6.
5 or 6 hours, but still, it's a great reference. I mean, for me, it's definitely a good reference tool. I would highly recommend.
Actually.
Okay, so real quick, if somebody is like, okay, this is great, I want the CBD, what should they do? Should they get CBD oil? Should they get the 500? Should they get the 1,000? Should they get the Calm? Should they get the Muscle Rub? What say you, Zion?
As far as what to get, again, depends on depends who you are and what you want to use it for.
Oh well, there you go. If I'm you, I'd get one of each. Unless it's the muscle rub and you're like, I don't have pain. Okay, so then maybe not the muscle rub.
So skip that one.
So skip that one. But if you're doing it for more mental stuff and physical, then not pain. But yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks, babe.
Thanks.
Thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you guys soon.